Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles.
And my name is Kirk.
And it is championship week.
Yes.
Title game week.
One of the best days in football.
It is.
It is the best
We
day.
finished the best weekend in football.
Yep.
About to do the best day in football. Then we'll get to the Super Bowl, the best game in football.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it.
A trio of bests.
And a good divisional round. You know, there was good games, good football was played, a good Final Eight. Mm-hmm. I don't think there was anybody that shouldn't have been in there that was in there. So
yeah, no major worry of a complete dud of a game.
Yeah, sometimes you get a Tebow going to the Patriots, you know, it happens.
Or you get Mark Sanchez, you know, it's like he's not going to go to the Super Bowl.
Right. But I liked it, man. A good week of football, you know. But unfortunately, we got 4 more losers.
4 more losers. And let's start with the Rams, who ended your streak.
Oh, so close.
You made it to 8-0.
I was 8-0 headed into Sunday.
And it was the truly hardest part of difficulty you had passed.
Oh, yeah.
You had selected and picked the major upset of the playoffs. You picked Commanders over Lions.
Yep.
Riding high, and then that Sunday morning game slaps your perfect record.
Oh, and it was so close. Like the quick comeback. Elliott missing an extra point. Like it was a 6-point game. Rams in red zone. Like I could have had it.
They should have won. I said Eagles should have won this game, but the Rams should have won this game.
Yeah,
that was my takeaway. Like they had a 3rd and 2 from the 11-yard line.
Yeah, with
like a minute left. Down 6, referring to the Rams. They should have won this game. They had Matt Stafford.
Yeah. And Jalen Carter comes right up the middle, gets another sack. I mean,
Jalen Carter saved the Eagles season.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like the Eagles really earned it or anything. You know, they had a couple big plays, but Rams couldn't get it going. They blew their opportunities.
They did.
They got that safety, and then they fumbled the ball away. Yeah. You know, it's like they ruined their momentum.
Yeah, I mean, it did feel like the Eagles would have just ran away with this game if it wasn't for the Hurts knee injury.
Yeah.
And the Rams had just this kind of fleeting chance at the end, but they blew that, like you said.
Yeah, and God dang it. Another year since 94 that I haven't picked a perfect bracket. But I picked one.
You did pick one.
That's more than the rest of you schmucks.
I never picked one. I was going to say. I'm just happy for the Rams that they've had a few playoff runs here. You know, last year they got and played that crazy game against the Lions. It was super hype, but it was very close.
Oh, yeah.
Now they win a game against the Vikings. They do this one down to the last second. They have avoided, just talking their legacy of the McVay Stafford Rams, they have avoided becoming the 2019 Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
You know, that was what they were feeling like when they had won that Super Bowl.
They just kind of sold out for that one.
Yeah.
And just couldn't get back.
Yeah, but now it won't look like that.
Yeah.
You know, they won the Super Bowl in 21. They got back to the playoffs in 23, 24. But
they've been making good draft picks, rebolstering that defense.
Yeah, defense played well.
Eventually, they'll have to move on from Stafford. But, I like, they used to just trade away all their picks. But now they've been actually investing in them, and they're starting to build something. I mean, you make it to the divisional round, you're not bad.
Yeah, and I will say, even when they were trading away all their picks, quote unquote, I was on this. They were trading away their first round picks.
Yeah,
they had more picks than anybody for even a couple of those particular years that everyone says F them picks. So Rams are out, Ravens are out.
Loser.
Yeah, God, we knew whoever loses the Ravens-Bills game was going to be deeply unhappy and unwell.
I know, man. It was a tough game to root for either team, really.
I know.
I mean, whoever lost, you're just like, oh man, dude, that sucks. You didn't get your chance at the Chiefs. I mean, just felt like it was, just a non-win-win situation, a lose-lose situation, if you will. Instead of going the way I went first. But poor Ravens, man. Just the way they lost.
Yeah, with the 2-point conversion.
The 2-point conversion, just the turnovers. Like, they just didn't play good football. The fact that they were even in it was an accomplishment for them.
Yeah.
Because they didn't play just raving football like Derrick Henry just running all over you or anything like that. It was Lamar throwing the ball, getting it down the field.
8-play, 88-yard drive
Yeah.
to tie the game if Mark Andrews holds on to that 2-point conversion.
Which
So,
he should have. I mean,
Yeah.
it hit him right there. I mean, it was a soft little pass. Like you said when we were
brutal.
watching it, he was just worried about his feet,
yeah.
you know.
And I still think, like, McDermott's grand plan of having Mark Andrews drop the ball saved him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I hate that they kicked that field goal and went up 8 and then kicked it to the MVP.
Yeah.
You idiot. McDermott just doesn't learn his lesson
Yeah.
because they went right into that 13 seconds defense. Like it was, I said 8 plays, 88 yards that Lamar Jackson drove in like a minute 30.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was butter.
Yeah.
It was just like they do to the Chiefs. The Bills tried to lose that game and they didn't.
But he doesn't kick that field goal. They're down by
Yeah.
a point and had a chance to drive.
Okay.
But-
Yes, but they have a chance to drive. Let me tell you what they gave up. A chance to end the game, period. So, yeah, you could say that they could have been down and all that stuff. They had a chance 2 yards away to end the game with Josh Allen. Should have done it.
Yeah.
They won, though, so I can't harp on it too much.
I know, but it was just kind of, they didn't finish it off the way they wanted to finish it off.
Do you blame Lamar Jackson for this?
I don't really blame Lamar so much. His first half wasn't pretty. He fumbled the ball once. Von Miller ran it back for like 70 yards.
Yeah.
Had one stupid pick early in the first half. Like his first half was bad, but then he locked in, which is what I thought he wouldn't do because I thought this team is super emotional.
Yeah.
Once things go bad, they just don't know how to bounce back. They bounced back pretty well.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Mark Andrews, I mean, his biggest F up was fumbling the ball.
Yeah, that one.
It was like a
15
25-yard. I mean,
It was
yeah.
like 15, 20 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just like right down the middle. He's running for extra yards, gets stripped. I mean, that was the play.
And he was going to go side to side to try to get extra yards, too. Just go down, man.
It's the playoffs, dude. Just go down, maintain the ball. Everybody
it's in the
knows
snow.
you have to win the turnover battle.
Yeah.
You just cannot risk that.
That was that. Yeah, I agree with you. That's the worst Andrews play of the thing. And Mark Andrews does not deserve this. An amazing player. It just sucks that this happened to him.
Yeah, I know.
So I asked if you blamed Lamar because that is kind of the
Are people blaming Lamar on this?
Well, I can't tell because there's so many hot takes about people are blaming Lamar and here's why you shouldn't. Like, I don't know if more people are blaming Lamar or if more people are saying people are blaming Lamar and then defending Lamar.
Okay.
But because I feel like the thing that has annoyed me in the media coverage of this game is the defense of Lamar Jackson going over the top. And specifically, somebody on ESPN was talking about, like, you can't just get on these quarterbacks, about success so early, which I agree with in principle.
Yeah.
But they brought up a side-by-side with Peyton Manning's first 8 years.
Okay.
What's Lamar at here? About 7 years?
7 something.
They brought up Lamar Jackson's first 7 years and Peyton Manning's first 7 years. And they're like, see, he's right on pace with Peyton Manning. And they said nothing about what we thought about Peyton Manning 7 years into his career.
Can't win the big one.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was his whole tale.
You want to know what we were talking about with Peyton Manning, dude? Like,
can't get it done in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Great regular season quarterback. Can't get it done. So I guess we're talking the same thing with Lamar, I guess. Yeah.
And I think Lamar should take that. Like, he's no Michael Vick. He's no Jared Goff. He is with Peyton Manning because we think he should win a Super Bowl, and he hasn't. So he should take what people say about how he hasn't won a Super Bowl as a compliment. He's a 3-time MVP, and we expect a Super Bowl. Yeah. It should be a compliment.
At least an appearance.
Yeah.
But, his entire career has basically been Brady and Mahomes.
Yeah.
And it's tough for him to break through here.
Yeah.
His postseason record kind of sucks, but, there's still time. He's still young.
Yeah. Well, and postseason records, like we said, are, only one team can win, and he's got Burrow, Allen, and Mahomes in his conference for his whole career, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
but I do appreciate the 2 snow games on Sunday. Just want to give that a shout out.
Shout out to God.
That was way to go, God. Giving us some good Sunday night football.
2 very different snow games. There's a slushy hail in the first one, some dry powdery in the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to Saturday. Some more heartache and the nice comfort of the dome. The Detroit Lions lose to the Commanders. And I mean, I just can't even imagine what Lions fans are feeling. It's an unfamiliar feeling.
Yeah, it was written all over their faces during the end of that game.
The players.
They just kept showing the crowd.
Oh, the crowd.
And they're just demoralized. Like, nobody was even cheering towards the end of the game. They're just staring out into the darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I mean, they're just absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a good, humbling experience for them.
Yeah.
You know, they made up for all this bad defensive play. You know, they still were keeping things going. But eventually that catches up to you.
Yeah.
You are Detroit. You have only won 3 playoff games, 2 of them coming from the year before. So, your expectations shouldn't have been all the way up there. You're still Detroit. You're still the underdog.
Yeah. This is, although it doesn't feel like it, progress for Detroit. You were the 1 seed and you faced a colossal disappointment. That never happened before. That was not even a Detroit thing. That's a Green Bay thing.
Yeah.
You know, like the fact that this happened to you, that you now, you know, maybe a Detroit fan scoffed at 2011 Green Bay and how sad those Packers fans were when they lost to the Giants as the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so sad. You got the 1 seed team and you lost 1 game. Now you know what that feels like, Detroit fans. And that itself is progress. Hard to see right now.
Yeah.
Hard to see right now.
But they've, for the last 3 years, just been up and up and up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's still lots to work on. Now we're talking contracts, though. Now we're talking about new people coming into the locker room.
And unfortunately, we continue to talk about Jared Goff.
Yeah.
I think that when we look back at this team, we will look at this as something that would have won a Super Bowl, but they stuck with Goff.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I personally have never been impressed by Jared Goff. Even this season, I have been hesitant because he has the best offensive line in the league, 3 all-pro players on offense,
Yeah.
a hot offensive coordinator who's just been snatched up by the Bears, a big head coaching hire. He's got the absolute juggernaut
Of teams. Yeah.
And whenever any sort of pressure points hit, he sucked.
Yeah.
He sucked.
He folds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and now you have to kind of go forward with him, and now we're gonna have to remember what he's actually like, and that I think the next few years are gonna be for Lions fans, and that's sad to me.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think that offensive line's gonna keep going. Besides Sewell, it's kind of an older offensive line.
Yeah. And then eventually when that goes, then you got to get real Jared Goff stepping up and making big throws. And I don't know about, man. I mean,
they're going to go through the same thing the Rams did.
Oh, man.
They're going to have Jared Goff ran the McVay, Todd Gurley offense great, and then Rams fans slowly hated him.
Yeah.
The Lions fans are going to do that too. And that's what's going to happen.
I know. And Detroit loves Jared Goff. And they're always chanting his name.
Maybe the Lions can pivot to having a better defense. Maybe
Yeah.
the defensive injuries caught up with them. That's what happened on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not mistake
You're
that.
down like 7 starters.
Yeah. And some of their backups.
Yeah.
Too. It's like, it was crazy. That is what happened. And credit to them. They still got the 1 seed. You know, when the 49ers have a bunch of injuries, you could drown the whole, Midwest with their tears.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time they get even like 3 starters injured, the 49ers fans are crying
Right.
rivers across the Yellowstone Park. But
Putting out the fires.
the Lions did it, even with those injuries. So
Yeah. I mean, credit to their season, but I mean, it's going to look different. We'll see how Campbell deals with all of this.
Yeah.
So, and just it's heartbreaking for Detroit. It really is. They got to make a Super Bowl at some point. They're only one of 4 teams that haven't made it.
Yeah.
So at some point they got to make it, but I don't know. This one hurt.
This
might have been their chance.
I would think so too. And Texans, don't come back until you can win a divisional round game. Okay? I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
At least don't come back to the divisional round until you can make one of the games fun.
Yeah.
6 of 13 years, they've been the gimme game in the divisional round. Just don't come back till you can play better.
Yeah. Just stay away. Somebody else win that division, please.
Jesus.
I mean,
AFC South, come on.
Texans technically the worst of all the franchises. Never even made a championship game.
Oh, yeah.
And I know they've only been around for 20-something years, but still, even the Jaguars and the Panthers.
Yeah.
Panthers have been to us 2 Super Bowls. I mean,
Yeah,
true. It's just like, you're just like, come on, pick it up a bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, poor Stroud, I think he's a good quarterback. I like D'Amico Ryans, but like you said, they're not competitive with Bills, Ravens, Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're not there.
They're going to have a rough go. CJ Stroud's going to have a rough go. He's the 5th best quarterback in that conference, even if he starts to play way better.
Yeah. The second you guys actually have to play a good 5 seed, eventually will happen.
Yeah.
They're going to get smoked.
All right. Let's get into the games.
Let's do it. Championship
Sunday. I'm really excited for these games. Commanders-Eagles, I think, was probably one of the best NFC title games we could have ended up with. Because when these teams meet, there's some fireworks, especially recently.
Okay.
I guess probably the best would have been Eagles-Lions, a healthy Lions. But Commanders-Eagles is a good consolation prize, especially with the Commanders so hot.
Oh yeah,
right now.
Lots of storylines here.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
We're kind of not even sure what the Commanders are. Yeah. Like they are just 5-game winning streak. I don't know what this team is.
They're in the championship game, and we're not sure who they are.
I know. Well, because they're not what they used to be.
Yeah,
that's for sure. They're last year's Packers.
Okay,
or maybe charitably say 07 Giants type of thing.
Okay,
so we're
just hot at the right time.
Hot at the right time.
6 seed sneaking in there.
Yeah, Eagles are favored by 6.
Okay,
which is not a touchdown at home against a 6 seed. So
that seems appropriate, though.
Yeah. Over under 47.5. Looking like this is Tuesday night here, so looking like slightly above freezing weather. The Philadelphia, like this is a 5-day forecast, but it's looking like 35, 40 degree weather.
Okay.
Precipitation very likely has a big rain sign on it right now so it could get some more slush.
Okay, but more like slush than actual snow because this game's at like noon.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, so we could see the lake effect that we hear so much about.
Yeah.
This is their 182nd meeting.
Oh man,
that's the 6th most common, for a head-to-head matchup.
Old franchises.
They've only played 1 playoff game.
What?
1.
Holy smokes!
And that was 1990 when Mark Ripien defeated Randall Cunningham 20-3.
Wow.
An old Buddy Ryan dud.
Yeah.
Sorry, Buddy Ryan ruined Randall Cunningham's career. Sucked.
It's what Buddy Ryan did best.
Yes, I know. And this wasn't even Washington's Super Bowl year. This is the year before. Before they won in 91. So that's it. That's all they've had.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah. So they have had some good games recently. Like, remember last year, Sam Howell, they had that 34-31 game.
Ending the undefeated Eagles. Yeah.
So, and that one went to overtime. And then week 16 this year, which, what was that? Was that Christmas weekend, right?
Christmas weekend, yeah.
Eagles were up 21-7 in the first quarter when Hurts got a concussion. And then Jaden Daniels went absolutely off. 5 touchdowns while the Eagles kicked like 6 field goals.
Yeah.
It ended up being 36-33 with a final touchdown pass with 6 seconds to go.
Boom.
To Jamison Crowder.
Who we forgot was even playing.
Exactly. Everyone watching Red Zone said, Jamison Crowder's still in the league.
Right? And they have found just random pieces to make it work.
They have.
Yeah.
They have, but Diami Brown is playing freaking great.
Right?
Yeah.
Eagles fans like to say, oh, you didn't play our starters in week 16. And I'm like, they were playing.
Yeah.
Hurts got the concussion.
Yeah.
So like that comeback was still on your starting defense. You played the Giants in week 18. That's when you rested your starters.
Yeah, I was going to say, they didn't rest their starters for 3 weeks.
But I've been hearing this narrative a lot.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, oh, we didn't really play you guys then. We didn't need to. We didn't have to. And I'm like, yeah, you did. You were still fighting for the 1 seed. You were still trying to lock up the division.
Okay,
and you blew that game.
Yeah, that's some faulty memory there from the Eagles fans.
Well, that's Philly for you. I mean, I love their fans, but when they want to believe something, they believe it.
Yeah. The Commanders go to their first championship game since 91.
Yep.
Blasting the Lions.
Yeah.
41-10 in that game. Cheap shot at the Lions.
Sorry, we'll just keep hurting them all off season.
The biggest stat I think that has been going around, because we love Cowboys-related stats.
Yes, I love this one.
Is that with the Commanders making this NFC title game, every NFC team has made the NFC Championship since 2010. That's not even that long ago.
2010.
In the last 15 years, basically, except for the Cowboys. who haven't made it since 95.
Ooh, the curse of Jimmy Johnson.
I guess so. Though 95 was Barry Switzer, so it took a while to go into still Jimmy Johnson's team.
Nobody gives Barry Switzer credit for that.
No, and they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So the Commanders are here. I don't know where to start with the Commanders. I mean, Jaden Daniels is a rookie in the championship round playing better than, I mean, it could be anything.
He's been clutch.
On Sunday.
He's been absolutely clutch. Just dropping the ball right where he needs it. Mm-hmm. That catch to Brown, there's like a meme of it where
the one where he's covering his eyes.
The guy's got he can't even see the ball, and he places that absolutely perfect. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's right on the money.
Yes.
He seems to be able to handle the pocket well. He's just absolutely putting darts out there that are just like friggin' perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say anything bad about him right now. He's been playing really, really good football down the stretch.
I feel like the same thing I said in the wild card preview, which is the Washington offense just doesn't give the ball back.
Yeah.
Why don't they ever give the ball back? Like, you're just expecting it.
Something to go wrong.
When are they going to punt? But they just don't.
Yeah.
They just sustain these drives.
Don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
They got so many weapons, you don't know who to actually... I mean, it's Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
So, okay, you try to guard him, and everybody else is the same.
Yeah.
Is it going to Eckler, Brown, Crowder, the Zach Ertz, like, is it going to Brian Robinson Jr.? Like, they're all over the place.
It's a really, really balanced, just hot offense. Yeah. They did lose their best offensive lineman in the Lions game, though they played most of that game without him, too. So there's... but I feel like Jaden Daniels, as a rookie, has probably the best chance of any of the rookies who have made the championship round. Because I was looking back through them. Purdy in 2022, was playing these same Eagles here in Philadelphia.
Early.
Yeah. We were expecting the Eagles to win that game.
Oh yeah.
We were excited about the possibility of these two defenses, but the Eagles were favored. Mark Sanchez, already mentioned. No one was expecting the 2010 Jets in the Super Bowl. Flacco was in the championship game.
08.
Yeah, 08. But huge underdogs. Big Ben, 04 Steelers, they were definitely underdogs. So, those... I don't think anything was quite like this. It wasn't a rookie quarterback catching absolute fire. And the other thing that I just mentioned, 2010 Sanchez, 08 Flacco. 04 Steelers.
Yeah.
Think about those defenses.
Yeah, even Purdy and the Niners.
Purdy and the Niners.
Carried by the defense.
Think about those defenses. None of those rookie quarterbacks got here the way that Jaden Daniels has gotten here.
It was strong ground game, good defense, but Jaden Daniels is carrying the team.
Yeah.
He's the one putting up all the points because they're still giving up points on defense.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like their defense has been just shutting people down. They still gave up like 38 to the Lions there.
I feel like the defense is overperforming because they're well rested because they're just sitting on the sideline while Jaden Daniels drives like 6-minute drives all the time.
And just be opportunistic, get your turnover or two and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jaden Daniels he has been an absolute surprise. It would be awesome to see a rookie quarterback actually make the Super Bowl.
That would be super.
That's never happened.
Wow, you're right. Yeah, because they just lifted off all the ones
who we got, and they all lost in the championship
game. Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be really cool.
And would be awesome for Kathleen. Still got that bet.
Kathleen's $50 futures bet on the Commanders, done on August 24th. Our 10th wedding anniversary, with a payout of a lot of money.
Yeah.
$6,500 or something like that. We can't even... If the Commanders are in the Super Bowl, we can't even watch.
It's going to be tough. Every time somebody takes the lead or falls behind, you'll be like, oh, that's so much money. Yeah. Oh, no, that's so much money.
I do, to put some cold water on it, too, I don't think Daniels has necessarily faced anybody quite as good as the Eagles defense in this playoff run.
Yeah.
Then again, to put some good spin on it, he did throw 5 touchdowns against this Eagles defense.
He has played them twice
recently.
So he's got a little of experience with them. So, but I mean, we haven't talked about the Eagles enough, really.
No, we haven't.
I mean,
and you know what? Like, the Eagles defense should get a lot of credit.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably the best defense in the playoffs right now. The Chiefs may have something to say about that, but the Eagles, like, thinking about that McLaurin screen that they scored against the Lions.
Yeah.
That's not happening to the Eagles.
No.
that ain't happening.
Darius Slay ain't letting that go nowhere.
Yeah. And just like all the rotating rushers they got, and the dogs they got.
Jalen Carter playing like a beast right now in the middle, man.
And Vic
Holy
Fangio
smokes.
is going to have them prepared. This is something a totally different challenge for this plucky Washington offense.
Oh yeah, they're not sitting there just playing immobile Stafford. You know, like they've got they got some work that to cut out. You know, that they have cut out for them. But I mean, like this is a solid group up front. I mean, Vic Fangio's got this group playing great.
Yeah.
And then, the Rams made a little comeback at the end, but for most of that game, they held the Rams down to nothing. Puka Nacua wasn't catching balls. Cooper Kupp was nowhere near doing anything. Yeah. I mean, it was DeMarcus Robinson for like 3/4 of the game.
I could easily see the story of this game. Eagles defense snuffs out Commanders.
Yeah.
I could absolutely see the story of this game. I can't really see the story of this game being Jalen Hurts' heroics. He has not looked good.
No.
Even before the knee injury, which is not going to help.
Yeah.
If they have to pass, they're going to lose. It's the worst passing game to make the championship rounds for sure.
I saw some stat somewhere about last week where they had 3 big plays. They had the Barkley had the big run. I think Barkley had 2 big runs.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts had 1 run.
Yeah. All touchdowns.
Yeah. That was as many yards as the rest of the game for them.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like just those 3 plays was equal to the rest of what they did. And they've been having a harder time. If they're not in like 3rd and short, they're having trouble. Hurts is having to take sacks. He's not finding A.J. Brown on curl routes or over the middle or anything like that.
Did get a 4th down to A.J. Brown that was pretty nice.
And they need more of that.
Yeah.
Like
that's the only one across 2 playoff games.
Yeah. And they've just basically been using him as an outside fly guy. Just if maybe you have one-on-one.
Fly guy.
Maybe you have a
A.J. Brown fly boy.
Fly guy. But just not... There's been no timing with it.
Yeah.
No smoothness. I mean, just like every now and then you get a good play call and it actually works. But I haven't seen Jalen Hurts really like read a defense and make like check off of a guy and then make a good throw.
But even when he was in MVP consideration in 2022, he was not running a sophisticated passing offense.
Yeah.
He has never done it.
Yeah.
He certainly didn't do it in college. Every time he got up against a big game in college, he was shut out basically until garbage time. So I really worry about that. But then again, do they even need it? Won't they just get those? I mean,
just give Saquon the ball 40 times.
the runs you said, the 2 Barkley runs and the Hurts runs, the replays of those were embarrassing for the Rams. Yeah. They had Mailata and Mekhi Becton and these big old linemen pulling and just running free in the field.
Oh, yeah.
Like joyfully laughing and just shoving DBs down. Becton couldn't even find anyone to block. He's just like, I guess I'll just run with Hurts.
Yeah.
Like
it's too easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So bad luck for the Commanders. They go from facing one of the best offensive lines in the league, Lions, to another one.
To another one
Eagles.
Of the best offensive lines. Yeah.
So for all I said about Hurts,
you could still just run the ball.
You could still just elite offensive line.
Give
and
it
defense.
to Barkley.
Yeah.
Dude's got so many rushing yards this year. 2,000 in the regular season. He's doing great in the playoffs as well.
Okay,
but
I feel like
there's Bobby Wagner sitting there in the middle.
Yeah.
He might be able to snuff some of this stuff out. Maybe he knows what some little secret sauce to this run game. Force them to pass the ball more.
I do think secret sauce is Wagner's a secret sauce.
Yeah.
He's got a high ankle sprain that he played with, and he's been a step slow, but that defense is playing with a lot of spark.
They're gonna juice him up.
Juice him up.
Give him the drugs. Give him the smelling salts. He'll be fine.
Okay, we got to make our picks. I feel like we did a good job pivoting back to explain why the Eagles are the favorites.
Yeah,
we needed to do that because we had talked so much about the Commanders to start off. So, but who you picking?
I'm rooting Commanders.
Okay,
and I'm picking Commanders. I am going first rookie quarterback to ever make the Super Bowl. Something that doesn't get mentioned. It gets mentioned later in their careers. I just didn't know what I should have known. I'm playing with a naive sense of self-confidence. Yeah. That's where Jaden Daniels is at. If he's playing this game 4 years from now, I think he's got a whole different outlook on that. He's a whole lot more nervous. I think he's free and loose. Wow. He's going to make some big plays to just some nobodies and make it happen. Get that upset in Philly.
Hey, and take advantage while you have it. No guarantee you'll ever be back in a championship game, period.
Yeah. I'm rooting for it. I'm putting my money on it.
Wow.
Yeah. Or Kathleen's money.
Yeah. Kathleen's money's already on it.
Yeah.
I'll take the Eagles.
Okay.
I feel like the offensive line, defensive line of the Eagles are just going to dominate this game. And I am feeling like a little bit of echoes of when I rooted for the Vikings in 2017. They went into Philadelphia, got smashed.
Yeah.
I was worried about the 49ers when they went in there in 2022. They got smashed. Like, these are blowouts in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I get worried about that. And those teams have the same strengths as this team, which is once the defensive and offensive lines have any kind of semblance of a good secondary or back end there, the Eagles are unstoppable.
Yeah.
And I think they'll get to the Super Bowl without Jalen Hurts having to do a dang thing.
Yeah, I think they don't need Jalen Hurts at all to actually win it. If
Yeah.
they play good defense. But, I go to coaching usually. I think Dan Campbell's a better coach than Sirianni.
Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn.
Yeah. Yes. Dan Quinn. Oh, my goodness.
And I'll be rooting for the Commanders, too.
Yeah.
I support my wife. I also support Dan Quinn, Seahawks defense coordinator in 2013. Ever heard of him? We won a Super Bowl with him.
I kind of feel like the Eagles should win this one,
Yeah.
But I've thought that about. You talked me at it with the Lions last week, so I picked Commanders. And the Bucks, I was almost about to pick them, and I picked Commanders. So I think I'm just
roll with it. Roll with the hot.
Yeah, I don't think that
Nice.
maybe not, but yeah, let's do it. Let's get that big 6 seed hot at the right time. Let's go.
All right. Now let's talk about the 3:30 game.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Buffalo Bills go to the
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs. We knew this game was going to be good no matter what. It was going to be Ravens Chiefs or it's going to be Bills Chiefs.
I've been waiting for this since week 1.
Yeah.
I've been waiting
exactly.
I wanted this matchup so bad again.
It's like almost like the Bills season has inevitably led to this.
Yeah.
And nothing matters except this game.
Right?
Period.
Yeah.
We won't remember anything except for what happens in this game.
It's true.
Yeah. Chiefs are favored by 1.5 at home.
I thought they'd be favored a little more.
Yeah, 47.5 over under. Kansas City also not looking like it's not going to be a freezer bowl. It might not even be freezing. Might be 35 degrees. Looks like no precipitation on the schedule. So
just a cold game.
Yeah, just a cold, regular old cold game. We did the history of this matchup last year because they played last year in the divisional round.
Yeah. But they added a game to it.
They added a game. Yeah. And just a reminder, this was the first AFL title game. Bills-Chiefs for a chance to go to Super Bowl 1. And then obviously the Chiefs won that and lost to the Packers. Len Dawson crushed Buffalo quarterback Jack Kemp, who also lost as a vice presidential candidate to Bill Clinton.
Wow.
Jack Kemp was the vice presidential candidate for the Republican Party for Bob Dole.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
That's Buffalo for you.
Jack Kemp's tombstone.
And then they played in 91, where the Bills slaughtered the Chiefs. They played in 93, where the Bills knocked out Joe Montana in that AFC title game. And then they've had their recent battles.
The recent battle here.
They played that
rivalry.
The 2020 AFC title game without fans. That was Chiefs won that handily. That was kind of Josh Allen's early, I think, third season in the league.
Yeah. Where
just,
he introduced himself. He's like,
a star.
I can be an accurate passer.
Yeah. But he just wasn't ready. Then we had the all-time classic, the 2021 divisional 13 seconds game, one on short list for best game of all time. And then last year's game, what they called Wide Right 2 at the time.
Yeah.
So we both took a little bit of umbrage with that because Tyler Bass makes that kick. The Chiefs just go get a field goal.
Yeah, there was enough
like
time on the
clock.
clock
Left.
If you gave up, that field goal in 13 seconds, I'm pretty sure they could have done it again with that much time.
Exactly.
There's like a minute 30 still.
I've always bristled on the Wide Right 2. By the way, Tyler Bass in the divisional game, that 51-yard kick in the snow.
Right.
The Ravens had scored like a touchdown and a field goal. They had brought it within 2. And then Bass hit a 51-yard field goal just start.
Yeah.
What if he had missed that and the Ravens got the ball down 2?
It's a whole different game.
credit to Tyler Bass. A little bit of redemption for the guy that kind of goes under the radar.
Because I'm pretty sure all of Buffalo was like, let's get rid of this guy throughout the offseason. Yeah. Even during the season, he was having struggles.
He was,
But coming up clutch like that in the snow, a 50-yarder in the snow was very impressive.
Yeah, that was a good kick. So credit to Tyler Bass. And now here we are. The whole season is next week for Buffalo. Yeah. Nothing matters unless they get past Kansas City.
Pretty much. And same for Kansas City, I think. Yeah. I think they've been waiting for Buffalo this whole time, too.
You're right.
And really, they're only, the last week of the season, they sat everybody and lost to the Broncos. But the only game they really lost was to the Bills.
Right.
Josh Allen on that 4th and 2 scramble and just made everybody look like little kids.
Yeah. God, just through every level of defense. Yeah. Unbelievable. Great play.
Great game by them. So I think that's why the line is so kind of right there in the middle. Plus, the Chiefs never seem to blow anybody out, so it's always kind of be right there up the pipe.
That's true. That's true. And the Bills aren't really blowing people out either. They're playing this run the ball sort of offense and keeping the game close. They're both kind of embracing sort of almost a Pete Carroll type of thing. This is not...
Get it to the 4th.
Yeah.
Keep it close and make some big plays.
This is how you win the NFL nowadays. You don't do... We're not in 2011 anymore where everybody's throwing for 90 touchdowns in every game. Like there's we have pulled that back a little bit.
Yeah. The reins have been pulled back. Play some good defense, play situational football.
I'll remind you of what I said when Josh Allen and the Bills beat the Chiefs in the middle of the regular season to knock them from undefeated. I said you shouldn't have done it. Don't blow they're 4-0 against the Chiefs in the regular season. Who cares? Who remembers?
That sounds
all their energy here. And you removed probably your biggest secret weapon that I thought could have unraveled the Chiefs this year, which was the decisions to go for the undefeated season. You should have let them stay undefeated. I mean, I know no players would ever throw a game or anything like this, but you shouldn't have beat them.
Yeah, and just let them get tired trying to go for that.
Because now you have to beat them again.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs. It's like...
What you haven't done since 93.
It's like, should not win the regular season, Bills.
I kind of agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
What kind of strategy would Sean McDermott place to orchestrate that type of thing? I know, just talking, blowing out smoke.
McDermott's not that smart. Come on. But yeah, I think we should start with the Bills.
Okay.
I think Josh Allen, I know everybody's saying Lamar's got the MVP wrapped up for a 3-timer. I still think it's Josh Allen this year.
Yeah.
With the fact that he didn't have the weapons, he's been running the ball fine. Maybe he didn't get the stats. He's a couple touchdowns behind here and there. So what? He's done more with this team than Lamar has, in my opinion.
Well, and I agree. I picked Josh Allen for MVP too, but the reason people are saying that is because Lamar won AP First Team All-Pro, and that's the same people, same ballot that they vote for MVP, so it kind of gives it away. That's the only reason I brought it up earlier.
They'll mix it up.
I would love that.
Right?
Because both are MVP seasons. What if they did coordinate that? Lamar, your First Team All-Pro, Allen, your MVP.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Come on, voters, get it done. If you haven't already voted. I'm assuming they already voted. So, but yeah, I love the way Josh Allen's playing. He's getting lots of people involved. Amari Cooper came over in that trade, and they really haven't used him that much.
Yeah.
They're still just spreading the ball around. Shakir, X factor in this game. That dude is good, and I don't think he's had a statement game in a while. I've been waiting for that.
After the catch, just spark.
Yeah. Quit throwing the ball to Mac Hollins. Give it to Shakir and Cooper.
Yeah. Haven't seen a lot of Kincaid either.
Yeah.
He had a couple targets, but
Kincaid and Knox, they got weapons.
I think to your point, any Bills receiver or target could explode here.
Yeah. They got fast enough weapons, and they're nobody really to target. There's no real just massive scheme of who to blanket cover.
Same kind of thing you were saying about the Commanders.
Yeah. And I like that transparency. It's the same thing the Chiefs are doing. You're never really sure who to really get. You can try to do it on Kelsey, but then there's still lots of other weapons there.
Well, that's important because the way that offenses have to play right now is beat the bend don't break defense.
Yeah.
The whole league is bend don't break.
Yeah.
That is the overall theme of the last 5 years. So in order to do that, you cannot be predictable.
Yeah. And I still love the way James Cook is running. He's finding holes. He's finding gaps. The Chiefs are going to shut that down a little bit. They've seen James Cook a few times now, so I don't expect it to be as good as it's been the last 2 playoff games. But it's still important to keep running the ball.
Yeah.
He can still get 4 yards a carry. He can still just chip away.
Yeah.
Get into 3rd and short, and then play from there.
Yeah. They've been very patient, and they've stayed with the run game because it's been working. Credit to that offensive line. That's as big a reason as it's easy to stay with the run game when it's working and hard to do when it's not, which you shouldn't do when it's not.
And they're not giving up sacks.
But
the whole season, I think it was like 12 or 14 sacks on the whole year. I mean, a lot of that's Josh Allen, but a lot of that's also the line.
But can they continue to do this?
I know, because they're playing probably the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, the Chiefs' defense is, I mean, they haven't even really had to flex yet. The Eagles' defense has looked better on screen, but the Chiefs' defense, all they've gotten to do is play a depleted Texans offensive line. They sacked them 8 times, did what they should have done.
Yeah.
But they haven't really had to flex. And they won the Super Bowl last year. The Chiefs' defense won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Remember, the Chiefs' offense didn't score a touchdown from the early second quarter of the Ravens title game until overtime of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, they didn't have a touchdown drive.
Yeah.
The one touchdown they got was from a punt return.
The muffed punt
they
off
got the
guy's
ball like
foot.
the 8-yard line. Yeah. So they didn't drive for a touchdown for 6.5 quarters.
But the defense held firm.
And they won both those games because of the defense. There's no better stat that I can pull that shows how amazing this Chiefs defense was playing last year. I don't know if it's necessarily the same exact dominance, though. This game's going to be really interesting as to what comes out. What parts of Josh Allen come out and what parts of Steve Spagnuolo come out, because they've got to finally bring their A game, and I don't know that we've seen them.
Yeah, but pretty much, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a defensive coordinator, but I've watched Josh Allen every time he tries to escape roll out to the right.
Yeah.
I'm expecting Spags to throw a lot of pressure up that right side, force him to scramble out to the left, and just, have to dink and dunk that way.
Yeah.
Get him uncomfortable going in that situation. But, I mean, I'm honest, this is the game. Bills offense versus the Chiefs defense. That's what everybody's really watching. It's not Mahomes.
Yeah.
Mahomes always gets the storyline. Kelsey always gets the storyline. But it is Josh Allen versus the Chiefs defense.
I agree with
That's where this game is.
This is the side of the ball. Can Josh Allen move the ball? Can he stay patient? He did lose his patience late in the 2023 divisional round. Remember, there was 2nd and 9 and 3rd and 9. He launched it deep on two throws.
Yeah.
And then that's why they had to kick that field goal.
Right.
With all that time left. Gosh.
But this is kind of the Peyton Manning moment.
Yeah.
He couldn't get over the Patriots defense. He kept facing them. He had a 49 touchdown season, was held to 3 points against the Patriots in a championship game.
Right.
This is that moment where Josh Allen needs to take over and be like, yes, I'm going to put my stamp on this NFL. I'm making myself an absolute guaranteed Hall of Famer by taking down the Chiefs in this game.
And I want to see it. I want to see him go full Hulk later in this game. Josh Allen has some crazy tendencies.
Yeah.
Like he said, he's got the responsible guy and he's got the reckless guy. The Hulk and Bruce Banner.
Right.
I mean, the reckless guy almost came out. We didn't talk about this. That 3rd and goal late in the game for the Ravens, he was going to pitch that ball.
He was.
Goal line run up the middle, and he's like, maybe I'll pitch it backwards.
Right. It's like, dude, hold that thing.
Something like that is going to happen, and I guarantee there's a legendary Josh Allen play one way or the other late in this game.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
But, other side of the ball, we're talking Chiefs three-peat, and we haven't not talked about that this much this year. It just becomes like an underlying note this season.
Yep.
Chiefs are going for a three-peat. This should be the biggest story of the entire year.
Well, I think it feels like the season just started.
Yeah, we're finally here.
Yeah.
We're at the championship game where we inevitably knew the Chiefs would be. Yeah. This is the farthest any three-peat team has made it.
Wow.
I mean, everybody that's trying to go for it either loses in this championship game or earlier.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because you mentioned Josh Allen having his Peyton Manning moment. I think Josh Allen's having a Steve Young moment.
Ooh.
And the Chiefs are the 94 Cowboys.
Okay.
They're going for their three-peat.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Steve Young met the Cowboys going for the 94. So
yeah.
For me, I feel like this is just like the Bills is the only game that has ever mattered.
Right.
It's the season begins today.
They just pretty much
Kansas
had
City
a
Chiefs.
blank circle in the postseason saying Chiefs, please.
Yep. Yeah. So for the Chiefs, their season begins today. That's what I'm saying. Like they need to win, and they're like I was saying about the A games too. Like this may be the first time they bring their A game. Of course, Travis Kelce finally gets over 100 yards without like 15 catches.
Right.
Mahomes, the headlines are about, the controversial calls.
Yeah.
He is not doing himself any favors with these. I don't know. He's like the kid at recess who like calls a timeout while the other team's on a fast break because there's no real refs.
Yeah.
Or like he throws an interception in flag football and he's like, that's halftime.
Yep.
That's Mahomes right now.
I like that
vibe.
That is fantastic.
This is the vibe I'm getting off of him. But I don't know. I don't think that they're going to be able to do much against Buffalo's defense.
Buffalo's defense has looked pretty good. And I know Lamar had that little comeback, but they held them down in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
Third quarter, they forced some turnovers.
Yeah.
Like, Bill's defense, kind of an underrated unit.
Yeah, and they got Matt Milano back.
Yep.
They're a little banged up in the secondary, so to kind of depend on some of those injuries.
Yeah.
But so we don't really know that here Tuesday night. But I think this is a better defense than shows on the rankings, right? They'll say 11th ranked defense. So they played most of the season without their best player.
Yeah.
And
Von Miller doesn't start playing football until the postseason.
Yeah, why wouldn't
And
he?
he's
Yeah.
looked fine. So, Bill's defense
Rousseau is better.
A little underrated. Everybody's been waiting for the Chiefs to just explode on offense, acting like Mahomes is going to throw 55 touchdowns in a season again. That Mahomes is gone.
And they never did. They didn't do that last year. They never exploded, and they won the Super Bowl. So
basically, they got rid of Tyreek Hill, and they're about to go on a three-peat. That's amazing.
Tyreek Hill. Maybe you shouldn't have asked out of the dynasty.
Yeah. It's his own fault. It's own fault. Never go to Miami. He brought his talents to South Beach. Tried to pull a LeBron. But, I'm worried about the Chiefs in this game. As much as the coaching matchup goes to Andy Reid over McDermott and the postseason just lore, I'm just like, man, if the Chiefs weren't at home in this game, if this game was in Buffalo, I'd pick Buffalo hands down all the way. Yeah. Just like no question about it. The fact that it's an Arrowhead worries me a little bit more because you're going to have to do more silent counts, and that gives the Chiefs defense a little bit more of an edge. Yeah. But, it's a tough one to pick. It really is. I'm rooting Buffalo.
Yeah, I know we're rooting Buffalo, yeah.
You picked Buffalo to win the Super Bowl before the year.
Yeah, and I'm going to pick Buffalo today, too.
Yeah.
And that was going to be my reason. I picked them to win the Super Bowl, so...
Okay.
But, and we've all known that this moment has to come. And this is the Peyton Manning. This is the Steve Young. Like, it just feels like they are ready. Everything they have done has been to preserve Josh Allen for this moment. Yeah. He's as healthy as he's ever been going into one of these games.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just gonna say Josh Allen becomes a legendary player. He's already a legendary player, but puts that jewel in his legend on Sunday. I believe in Josh Allen. I think the Bills are gonna do it.
Okay, all right. I am rooting for the Bills, but I gotta say, the Chiefs are gonna do it again.
Okay.
The Chiefs know how to win close games. They're situationally sound. I don't want them to win. I am not rooting for the Chiefs at all.
Disclaimer.
But I think the Chiefs win this one. I think the Bills have another heartbreak, and we're just never going to stop talking about this.
I can't.
It hurts my soul to say it.
I can't do it. I just can't watch another Bills heartbreak. I
know. But that's exactly what the Chiefs thrive on. It's what the old Patriots thrived on. They're just like, oh, yeah, you think you're not going to get another one? Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Boom. And the Chiefs have just won so many close games this year. Unless the Bills can get out to a lead, I don't know how they're going to win it in the clutch. It hurts me. It hurts me to say it.
Hurts me.
It really does.
Wow. Well, I hope one of us is right about both games, because I know neither one of us...
A worse Super Bowl is Chiefs-Eagles.
Yeah, neither one of us got the repeat of the 22 Super Bowl. So if it's Chiefs-Commanders, so be it. If it's Bills-Eagles, so be it. It cannot be Eagles-Chiefs.
Yeah.
Football gods, please. No.
Bills-Commanders would be great. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think we finally get a person going for a three-peat in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I guess it's the first time ever. I don't know if they're going to win that game. I'll tell you in 2 weeks.
Dude, the worst, second worst thing that can happen is the Chiefs get in the Super Bowl. They're playing the Commanders, and the Commanders, like magic, just runs out. And we just hand the Chiefs
Right.
a third Super Bowl.
That would be awful. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I think they will both be very good games. Sometimes there's a blowout in these championship games. I'm hoping they're both good.
Philadelphia, give me a good championship game, because you have let me down 2 years in a row.
No kidding.
Or two championships in a row. So
Right.
come on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it. We'll be back to preview the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl
59.
Right.
All right. My name is Miles.
I'm Kirk.
A good night.
Good night.